Coming up on City Spotlight, we're back on location for a second time here in Season 7 in Arcola. First, we'll talk with Angie Miller, Executive Director of the Arcola Chamber of Commerce, about new businesses in Arcola, plus how the Arcola Chamber has helped out local businesses during COVID, and a preview of upcoming events in Arcola. Then we'll talk with Kathy Ellis, a promoter with the Raggedy Ann Rally, about the history of the Raggedy Ann Rally, the history of Raggedy Ann and Andy in Arcola, and what Raggedy Ann and Andy means to its biggest fans. We're back talking Arcola once again here in Season 7, next on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. Hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. We're on location once again here in Season 7, and as you can see, we are outside for this segment here on a new episode on Arcola. We're taping here on this muggy Monday, first Monday in June. The historic depot in Arcola is our backdrop once again, and to help us out, to my left, welcome back a familiar guest to the program, the Executive Director of the Arcola Chamber of Commerce, Angie Miller. Angie, great to have you on again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Great to be back in Arcola. Again, it's our second time here in Season 7, all the way back in September. We taped an early season episode on Arcola with Dr. Mulligan, Bill Wagner, and now former Mayor Larry Ferguson. Larry Ferguson, a longtime guest here on City Spotlight, chose to not run for re-election, and so as a result of the April elections, Arcola has a new mayor. Tell us about the new mayor in Arcola.
Yes, Jesus Garza is our new mayor. He's been doing a great job. He's really hit the ground running. He has been part of several committees that we already have going. He's been meeting with us and bringing new ideas, and he's been really doing a great job so far.
Look forward to meeting Mayor Garza later this fall, hopefully here on Season 8 of City Spotlight, and we thank all the times that Larry Ferguson contributed to this program. Things were a little bit different back in the fall in September when we were last here as regards to COVID, and things look like they're getting better. Again, I'm no doctor, but things are looking promising. Things are opening up in various communities and pretty much everywhere. Angie, tell us about the state of Arcola as we're talking here on June 7th.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I think things are getting better. I think that we're able to have, continue to work on different festivals that we want to have, more outdoor events, more gatherings that we can do, and a lot of the businesses are fully open. Restaurants and other businesses that were struggling there during COVID, now they've been able to open, they've been able to do different events, and been able to get things going again.
Great to have another chamber director here on in Season 7. Great perspective from all the chamber directors we've had on here in Season 7 in regards to COVID and how things have gone in each community. Angie, tell us how the Arcola Chamber of Commerce helped out the local businesses in Arcola during COVID.
We tried to really be a partner with the businesses like we always do through anything, but with COVID made it especially difficult for a lot of businesses. We tried to work with them, letting people know their hours, maybe changing of hours, what they might be doing, takeout, delivery with restaurants, what they had to do, the struggles that they had to go through. We just helped them really try to get the information out, tried to partner with them in any way that we could to keep them afloat during those rough times. And I think our community really did a great job supporting our local businesses, and that's something that we need to continue to do. Our businesses can't stay open without our tourism support and our local support. So it's something that I hope continues, and we as a community can continue to thrive.
In the historic downtown area of Arcola, there's been some changes since I was last here. There's something missing there. So tell us about the Metro Block, and there's nothing there now. So tell us about what's all transpired there.
So it's all come down, and it's a safe area now. So we have planning committees to see what can possibly go back into that space. There's a lot of different ideas, so we'll come together and we'll find something great to add to our community there. And then we've had a couple businesses also open downtown, so we're moving in the right direction. It's been good.
That's a large space there that's now open for the community.
Yeah.
I don't need to know what you're thinking or looking or maybe have in mind, but that is a large piece of area that has great potential for the community in the downtown area.
Yes, yeah. So we're guessing at this point that it will be maybe some kind of cross with some green space and some buildings. Okay. There's a lot of discussion right now about what is going to go there, but it definitely will be something that will be attractive, something that will be exciting for our downtown. We don't want something just like a parking lot or something like that.
Absolutely.
You know, we want something that is going to add value to downtown, bring more people downtown, and be attractive for our community.
And obviously it's going to have to come from the ground up because you guys
right.
leveled the field, so you're starting fresh.
Yes, starting fresh.
Okay,
so that really is exciting because it creates a lot of opportunity. So there's a lot of possibilities of things that could go there. So.
I believe when I interviewed you for the first time back 3 years ago, you had kind of just gotten going as the executive director. Those 3 years, tell us the evolution of the downtown area over the time that you've been the chamber director.
We have been working really hard. Arcola has an ACE group. It's Arcola's Community Economic and Development Group. Mm-hmm. We meet weekly, and we are always meeting with business owners to grow not only downtown, but downtown and the surrounding area of Arcola. We just are trying to continue to grow the downtown. We don't want to be one of those towns where you drive through and everything's, boarded up. We want to still be a place that people would want to visit, see historic buildings, and be able to shop and eat and spend an afternoon looking at all of our beautiful buildings, our downtown artwork, all those kind of things.
I think maybe in the last few episodes that we talked with Bill Wagner and now former Mayor Larry Ferguson, some of the newer businesses that have popped up in the downtown area, but you have a very more newer business, pharmacy. A pharmacy is back in Arcola. Tell us about that.
It's very exciting to have Save More Pharmacy in Arcola. Even though we're a small town, we still want to be able to offer all those services to our community. We've opened in the last year or so, we've opened a dentist office, we've opened the pharmacy, and then we actually have an eye doctor that's coming to town too. So that's great for our growing community.
They need to have all those available services and keeps everybody happy. The dentist office is right over your shoulder as we're taping here at the depot in downtown Arcola. Well, I'm not going to wait any further. Let's talk about events because there's a lot going on in Arcola moving forward, and we're taping here in the start of the second half of 2021. Folks at home are seeing this at the very beginning of summer 2021. So there's a lot going on in Arcola as far as events the rest of this year. It all kind of gets going. We're taping here again on June 7th at the end of this week that we're taping at. The downtown Arcola Market's going to get going, and we'll have a whole bunch on the Raggedy Ann Rally, which is also happening this week in Arcola, and we'll have it later in the program. So let's talk about those two things that are going on: the downtown Arcola Market and the Raggedy Ann Rally, really kind of kicking off the warm weather activities.
Yeah, so everything starts off this weekend with the Raggedy Ann Rally. Friday night, we're going to have a banquet honoring Raggedy Andy, who actually turned 100 last year. Right. But we are celebrating through this year too. So Raggedy Ann's turn.
Nice long birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Let's make it last as long as possible. So we're going to have a banquet and celebrate the 100th birthday of Raggedy Andy. And then also Saturday, we'll kick off our Arcola Markets. You can come to our beautiful downtown pavilion, and that is where the Arcola Market is. There's always lots of different crafters and locally made, handmade, homemade items. It's a really fun event, all outside under the pavilion. So even if it's drizzling or if it's a really hot day, it's nice because it's all shaded. We're all in the shade.
Right.
But it's a really fun event to come to, and we host those every second Saturday, June, July, and August.
Very good. A lot of those markets happening across Central Illinois. Some have started a little bit before Arcola's, but they're going on everywhere. Yeah. And you're utilizing that beautiful new pavilion that really has come in handy for so many things.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, very good. So we'll have more on the Raggedy Ann Rally in our next segment here on this episode on Arcola. Let's move into July and Pop the Top Car Show, July 3rd.
Yes, July 3rd. Lots of cool cars will invade our downtown, which is always fun to be able to walk around and see all of the neat entries that they have and listen to music and grab some food. And so it's always a really fun time, and the kids love to come. My kids always love to come out and see all those cars. It's really fun.
So we have Pop the Top Car Show again going on July 3rd, and then the big one, the 50th Broom Festival, September 10th through the 12th. I guess to all good things you must wait.
Exactly.
2 years in the making, or probably several years in the making. It's a very celebratory year for the Arcola Broomcorn Festival. Obviously, it did not happen as it was scheduled last year due to COVID, but Angie, I'm sure maybe some things were tweaked as you realized you had to postpone Broomcorn a year. But
Right.
Without going into too much detail and unveiling of what's going to happen at the 50th Broomcorn Festival, how much changed or was added maybe as a result of it being postponed?
Well, some definitely things that we had lined up and scheduled are not able to happen this year, just with scheduling mishaps and everything. So,
Right.
but it's definitely going to be an amazing festival. So we do have some new and exciting things planned. It's always a great festival. We always attract quite a crowd
Yes.
with our huge parade, with our free entertainment, with all the craft and food vendors, the National Broom Sweeping Contest, all that fun stuff. So we always do a lot of fun things anyways, and it will just continue through the 50th. It's going to be great.
And if Pat Monahan is watching, he would also mention the famous Lawn Rangers as well.
Exactly.
This is obviously, without a doubt, the biggest thing that pretty much happens in Arcola every year. Would you
Yes.
agree? Okay.
Yes.
So, and it attracts, as you mentioned, a lot of people. I've been to a handful. I did the Lawn Rangers one time, so I can say I did that. That's off my
Yes.
bucket list. I would imagine this is going to be a very heavily attended gathering, not just because it is the 50th, but people have been probably waiting as a result. As I saw with the Toledo Spring Festival in a recent episode, people wanting to get out. So
People are excited.
I can imagine this is going to be one of the biggest events in the history of Arcola.
Yeah, people are excited not only just to get out to have festivals and different things to go to, but when you have the Broomcorn Festival and it's going to be the 50th and there's going to be lots of extra things planned, I think that people are going to want to stay tuned and see what we have to offer. So,
I've probably asked this question more times than I need to yourself maybe, and Bill Wagner, Larry Ferguson, other people. What does the Broomcorn Festival mean to Arcola?
it is just, for me, when I think of Broomcorn, it is fun. And there's a lot of tradition that goes into Broomcorn too. You know, you go and you get your favorite food and you visit that vendor that's been here a long time. When we always have, you know, the free entertainment and the beer pavilion, and it's just like a homecoming of sorts. And I feel like everybody comes here, and you know what happens in small towns, we don't change around here that much too drastically. So you're coming, and there are for a few new things, but it's just kind of like home for everybody. And it's been going on for 50 years, and a lot of festivals can't say that. So we've got a really, really great committee that puts on the Broomcorn Festival, and they're real dedicated to keeping it going and keeping it alive and well. So it's just really great.
I promise you viewers out there, I will be there for that as we start season 8 of City Spotlight there. Don't know who I'm going to all interview. Probably Mayor Garza and Bill Wagner will appear, but I definitely look forward to catching all the sights and sounds of the 50th Broomcorn Festival. Don't need to tell anybody else out there. It's September 10th through 12th. Again, a lot going on here in Arcola. Raggedy Ann Rally, Pop the Top Car Show, 50th Broomcorn Festival. Angie, your final thoughts as we conclude here with you. A lot to be excited about here in the second half of this year for Arcola.
Yeah, we got a lot of things going here in Arcola, and we are just right off of I-57, so it's so easy to zip in and see what's going on. And also, one thing I didn't mention was Aikman's Wildlife Adventure, which is just right outside of Arcola, so you can just really plan a day in this area and find a lot of fun things to do. So it's a great little family getaway.
A lot going on here in Douglas County and in amazing Arcola. We thank the time of the Executive Director of the Arcola Chamber of Commerce, Angie Miller. Angie, great to have you on again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll talk all about the Raggedy Ann Rally with Kathy Ellis. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Arcola. And we're back here on City Spotlight. This on-location episode here on Arcola, we continue, and we're now inside. We're taping here on June 11th, and we're at the Arcola Center, and we're going to talk all about the Raggedy Ann Rally in this segment. And we welcome, first time to the program to help us out here, Kathy Ellis. She's a promoter with the Raggedy Ann Rally. Kathy, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity of coming.
Glad to be inside. It's rather warm outside, but it's nice and cool in here, and we have a lot of cool things going on here with the Raggedy Ann Rally. Before we talk about the Raggedy Ann Rally in detail with Kathy. Kathy, you're a first-time guest. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my husband John and I have collected Raggedy Ann and Andy for approximately 35 years, and there has been a rally here in Arcola for about 32, so we're all in.
Let's briefly tell our audience the history of Raggedy Ann and Andy here in Arcola. It kind of got started here. We've had a feature that we ran a few seasons back on the history of Raggedy Ann and Andy, but let's remind our audience just briefly the history of Raggedy Ann and Andy here in Arcola.
Raggedy Ann is a doll that was made by Johnny Gruelle, and he was the author of books and he illustrated books, but he actually had a daughter named Marcella that was given a vaccination that ended up killing her. And she, to entertain her, because she was sick for a while, to entertain her, he had taken this doll, the little doll, and he, painted it up, and then he told stories about that little doll to Marcella, and that was entertainment for her. And then after she passed away, he found some people to publish those stories, and that's where it came from. Johnny was born here in Arcola, so that's actually the Arcola connection.
Very good. And if you've been to Arcola, downtown Arcola, there's all kinds of Raggedy Ann and Andy signage, visuals. There's a
wall dogs.
The wall dogs murals came back several years back, so you can find Raggedy Ann and Andy visually just about anywhere, any corner in Arcola. So you briefly mentioned at the beginning of the interview how long the rally has been going on. How did that come to be? Why did they need a rally for Raggedy Ann and Andy?
Well, I think that we kind of, talked about it, different people, different store people, and then it went through to the Arcola Chamber of Commerce, and the Arcola Chamber, a couple of ladies, Doris Canals and Annette Ferguson, started in, and we helped them at the beginning of that, and that was 1989.
Right.
We helped them find people and get vendors, and not so much. They did a lot. Trust me, they did a lot of work, and it was at that time a street festival, and they kind of looked at that street festival as a thank you to all the people that put the hard work in for the Broom Corn Festival.
Right.
So we have had a street festival, and at one time we had people here from a huge entourage of people here from Japan.
Wow.
They would dress up and make these gorgeous costumes, parade up and down the street. There was a parade also.
Right.
But we've become an international event at that
Wow.
point.
Tell us,
Thousands, there were thousands of people here. We're trying to bring that back.
and I just walking in here to the Arcola Center. I've been in here for family gatherings and other events, and I'm blown away from one end to the other. It's Raggedy Ann and Andy, all kinds of things. We'll have visuals throughout this episode, more visuals than I know what to do with.
Yeah, you're going to have to cut some.
Maybe have to cut some. I'll have to be a little choosy on that. Tell us about the people that are fans of Raggedy Ann and Andy.
All walks of life. There are people from all walks of life, but the common thing is the love of that little red-haired dolly. And the thing is, that little red-haired dolly started in the 19-teens, but she has gone through history. She's gone through wars, she's gone through all kinds of things, the hippie era, everything.
Right.
And it's still there.
Wow.
It's still there. We have a community. We have a love for each other. Mm-hmm. We have a comrade feeling towards each other. There's nobody that comes that is not completely embraced by this community. A new person mm-hmm. that comes is totally embraced. It doesn't matter who
wow.
you are, what you look like, what you know, how much money's in your pocket, although you probably need some money in your pocket to buy, but because you're going to find stuff you want here.
Right.
But honestly, it's just a loving community. And
you mentioned the folks that traveled from Japan back in the day. Are people still coming from across the country to this rally?
Currently, this particular rally, mm-hmm. we have people from 20 different states registered. There might be some more that I haven't caught yet, but I can document 20 different states coming this weekend.
Fantastic. So, like many festivals and gatherings in the year 2020, as we tape here on June 11th, the Raggedy Ann Rally did not happen in 2020 because of COVID-19. And that had to push back to what's being celebrated this year, as indicated by your lovely shirt, Raggedy Andy's 100th birthday.
Well, what happened was we couldn't come to Arcola, and we didn't want to risk anybody not getting to come to celebrate. But courtesy of Raggedy Land, which sells it's an online Raggedy Ann and Andy store. Courtesy of them, we had a Zoom party. So we pulled people from across the United States, and we had the best time.
So you had a virtual party.
We had a virtual Zoom party, exactly.
But now you get to celebrate it in earnest. You've extended the birthday to this year.
Oh yes, and people are, you know, like squealing across the parking lot. Oh, so and so, hello! I haven't seen you. And you can't help but catch the energy when you're here, and I think that you're going to have fun.
I haven't stopped smiling since I walked in here to set up for this interview with Kathy. Okay, let's talk about this year's rally. We're at the Arcola Center here on June 11th. Festivities will happen through later today, and then into Saturday, June 12th. We'll have visuals about all of these, hopefully all of these things that Kathy's going to tell us about. Tell us what's going on here at the Arcola Center.
Okay, today, Friday morning, we have the setup of the Arcola Center, and these are vendors from all across, again, Missouri, Illinois, Minnesota, setting up their raggedy items that they have maybe grown out of, or you know, just want to share. We're setting up the room today at between 1 and 1:30. We have a nickel auction, and we have our own homegrown auctioneer named Greta Eber.
And so why do you call it a nickel auction?
Well, that's really good. It's supposed to be a nickel increment, but I'm going to tell you what, it has been known to be $10 increments.
Okay.
On really.
So the nickel is the starting point.
That's the name of the auction.
Okay, so that's in the afternoon. The next thing after that is the big celebration.
Next is the big banquet at 6 o'clock in the Masonic building here in Arcola.
Downtown Arcola.
And it is a banquet.
We'll have visuals, obviously, of the celebration. What's going to happen at the celebration?
Okay. Well, of course, we'll eat, and then a small program, which they've kind of tag teamed me to do, so I'm going to be talking at that again.
Okay.
There's also a silent auction where people with papers and items, and you can go around and write your name down, and you bid on things. And then there will be a live auction. We have an official banquet auctioneer who we drafted also.
Right.
And people come and pass out their happies at this banquet.
Okay.
And I have to tell you what a happy is, because that's an important part of this.
Please do, educate us. What is a happy?
A happy started when the big group of entourage from Japan came. They would come and bring a little small gift and say, "I'm happy to see you." So that caught on real quick. So now everybody makes some little trinkety gift and passes out as a happy to see you.
Right.
So, and this year, since we missed last, there's a lot of happies.
Very good. Anything with Raggedy Andy's birthday going to be celebrated at this gathering?
Oh yes, we'll sing happy birthday and have a birthday cake.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll be rolling on that. Okay, so we move on to Saturday, June 12th, the second day of festivities. What's happening on that day?
This building will be open to the public. Just come on in and browse the items and feast on the visual delights of Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Oh, lots of red in the eyes. People, as you mentioned, there's first-timers that are coming to this for the first time. There's people that have been coming for years. What do you want people that come to this rally and celebration for Raggedy Ann and Andy, what do you want them to take away from this experience?
I think, Johnny Gruelle had a very big and good, loving heart. And that's why he put that heart. The original dolls had a heart. Every true Raggedy has a heart. And he wanted that to be known, having a heart. And I think that that universal acceptance and love and community feeling that our group has, I think that he would want that to be everywhere. And so that's really kind of the message.
That's beautiful. And I want to ask you one more question. How does Raggedy, when you look at a Raggedy Ann and Andy doll, how does it make you feel?
Oh, smiling and happy. The funny thing about it is, my husband and I collect together. And I will tell you that the men here, they know the history, they have value, figured dollars per square inch on that doll. You cannot mess with their knowledge. They know those things. They know it for history. My husband knows the history. I, on the other hand, collect emotional. And I see a Raggedy Ann that's got this little smiley face. And there's some that's like, oh yeah, that's cute, but there's some that just tug at your heartstrings. And that's the ones I'm like, okay, I'm having that. I gotta have it. And that's a difference. You know, there's two kinds of collectors, but it's the emotional collection.
What a lovely interview. Thank you, Kathy Ellis, promoter with the Raggedy Ann Rally. We're here at the Arcola Center taping. Kathy, it's been a pleasure talking to you about the Raggedy Ann Rally.
Oh, I'm so thankful for your interview. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And that'll do it for this latest City Spotlight episode on Arcola. We've been on location. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.